Hello. Figured I'd do a movie review to pass some time because my family and I went and saw Superman, the new one, the James Gunn 2025 Superman, that I have seen so many interesting things about online already. And I can't decide where to start. Do I want to start with the weird comments online or the movie? I'll start with the comments online so that I can finish with just focusing on the movie. The movie is a normal Superman movie. And the comments about it that I've seen online are very political. Those of us more liberal are cheering for a normal Superman movie because it fits in with all of the other Superman franchise. And those of them on the more conservative side are complaining because Superman is woke, except Superman's always been woke. Like, the people on the right don't seem to understand that woke means aware and compassionate. Like, it means we are aware of the suffering of people who are being mistreated, and we care about it and want to stand up for those people who are suffering. Like, that's what woke means. It started off more specific than that, being aware of the systemic racism against black people and being upset about that and wanting to help stand up for them. And it grew to include awareness of and compassion about the suffering of any marginalized people. So, like, being woke is a good thing, and Superman and his stories have always been woke, have always been PC, politically correct, have always been liberal, have always been about kindness, and this movie is that too. So, like, it's really bizarre to me to see conservative posts online trashing the movie for being woke, for Superman caring about people and saving people. Like, when, like, are conservatives really that far gone that they're upset when the good guy does good things? Like, that's a difficult one to reconcile. Like, I feel like conservatives think they're the good guys, and they don't seem to recognize that what they're complaining about is the good guys. Yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, the movie. Let's try and get my brain past the absurd comments. and move on to the movie itself. It is difficult. All right, so the movie itself includes a little information about the origin story of Superman, but we all know the origin story. And so it doesn't have to define it as specifically, and I think that's a good thing. It didn't have to spend time on it so much. And I think most of us know the basic details of Superman's life, so like those were there, and again, they didn't really have to explain it thoroughly, so they managed to save time on that. And then they gave us I think a pretty decent challenge. There are a couple of odd things that I feel like got glossed over a little bit, and there's the one. All right, so I don't want to do spoilers, so I'm not going to specify what the one thing is that sticks a little bit for me, but it's also a comic book movie, so I can't be too picky about what's possible. And it served the story well enough, so all right, there were a couple of practical details in the movie that stood out to me while I was watching it, that I didn't react well to, but the overall premise of the challenge Superman faces in this movie are interesting. I'm not giving spoilers by saying some of it is directly political, where, like, right at the beginning, you find out that Superman has stopped some fighting between two countries just using his power, and there is political discussion about whether or not that's okay. Like, yes, on the surface, that sounds like a really good thing. But if he is going as a representative of the United States, does that mean that his involvement implies the involvement of the United States? And so that there are more things they tack onto it. They make it more complicated, or they show how it would be more complicated. And so that is an interesting aspect of Superman's decision making that they bring into the movie that I thought was pretty good. And of course, over the course of the movie, they give you more about that, and it is one of the things we are contending with. Yeah, so I can understand too why people might complain it's too political a movie, because like the main story is related to politics, but I mean that Do you want movies to just ignore politics? Like, comic books have been political since the beginning. Comic book movies have been political since the beginning. They all have messages in them. And that's actually one of the strengths of fantasy and sci-fi, is that it gives us a way of consuming political information in ways that aren't possible with direct speaking. Ways of conveying messages, ways of giving us different points of view without it necessarily being blunt. So you have to think about it a little bit. Like, every sci-fi is political. Every single one of them. From Star Wars to Star Trek to Firefly to I'm gonna feel bad about forgetting the name of this one in a moment. Muppets in Space. Crichton is the main character. Okay, please don't get too upset with me for forgetting that one in the moment. They all have political messages. Babylon 5, there's another one. Why am I forgetting? It's a really good sci-fi, and it's like about politics with Muppets. Farscape. There we go. Farscape. Thank you. Harry Potter is about politics, and that's not sci-fi, but it fits into the fantasy category. And Return of the King. Lord of the Rings in general. But the Tolkien universe very heavily speaks about politics. Movies, shows, books, they're ways of telling stories that mean something. Like, what author is going to spend their lives on writing stories that have no depth? They're gonna put something in there that means something. And I feel like James Gunn was trying to continue that and to provide us with a meaningful Superman story, where the character is very well in its roots of Superman being sort of an idealist, an optimist. Heck, a lot like Luke Skywalker. Somebody who sees the good in people, who tries to help everyone, tries to make sure people don't die. And so I very much like this characterization of Superman. He's not a jaded older person who thinks they have the answer to everything. He is a hopeful person who makes mistakes. So I like how they handled Superman in this. I also really like how they handle Kryptonite. which you know is going to come up in a Superman movie. I really like, Lex Luthor is, of course, in the movie, and I'm not going to say any more to avoid spoilers, except to say that I like him, but I think he's just a hair too manic, the way he's portrayed. Yeah. All right, so I think I'm going to end my Superman review there, saying that I like the movie. I enjoyed it. There are a couple things that stood out to me, but not enough to make me dislike the movie. I like the message it gives. I like the acting. I think the acting was great. Lots of lots of well-written characters, and the unexpected Nathan Fillion. And of course, Alan Tudyk's voice, I think. I didn't check the credits, but his voice was in there too, so I think it's good to see all of that. Good experience. I recommend seeing it in theater, to support the movie, to support the theaters, because they're having trouble. And yeah, thanks for listening.